Welcome, everyone. Our final day, 21 days. I haven't muted my phone. I do not want to be disturbed while we summarize and dedicate some time to this knowing of who we really are. Hello, Mariska, Bernard, waiting for the fans to come on board. If anyone can just confirm the quality of the sound, that would be great. Right. What have these 21 days been all about? It's been 20 hours of wanting to highlight an hour a day to just slow down the reel and to put in perspective what is happening, and to allowing you to see that each and every time you attempt to fix the broken, to correct the wrong, to solve the problem from the same level of consciousness that created it, you will continue to believe you are that limiting being, you are that limiting character. But without pinpointing each and every single separate part that seemingly looks like it's separate, we could make no sense of it. And hence years and years and years of suffering have continued. Could it literally be this simple? Every single time we sit down and discuss the problems, every single time we sit and discuss the questions, what is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong in the world? And we push against what is wrong, not wanting to feel, not wanting to experience these experiences any longer. We are excluding, we're excluding. Exclusion. Exclusion creates limitation. Exclusion creates pain. Exclusion pushes. Exclusion creates resistance. That couldn't be the answer. It felt wrong. It felt off. The indications, the indicators, these emotions were there highlighting in every single moment, in every single instant, that this did not feel good. Hence, what am I not seeing? Hence, what am I not perceiving as the whole? We cannot eliminate anything, for everything is part of the whole. Every single part is part of the whole. The moment we exclude, the moment we try and control that these things do not pop up, let's avoid. Avoidance is separation. Avoidance is resistance. Avoidance springs forth from control. All of these actions feel very, very, very off. And they feel off for a reason. For you are only looking at the one side of the coin. You're only holding true to the one perspective. And as the character itself cannot see the two sides, but you stand and will always be standing, always presently aware of everything. You must know who you really are. And in order to see that, I really wanted to present you with all your parts, all your tools, all your accessories, all your paintbrushes, on how it is so that you are creating your characters, your paintings, how it is so that you are already doing it, you have been doing it. I will always and continuously say it. Nobody is broken. Nobody is limited. You are all perfect. You are simply misinformed. And now you are no longer. Every single part. Every single part. And today I would just like to dedicate a moment for just exposing what it would look like when you know who you are, and that hesitation when you go out into the world and notice other people unaware of who they are, still believing they are in the character. And you will start to notice that there's a part of you that wants to rush out. And now with the intention of, I want to help them. I need them to see that they are misinformed. You are here watching this video because you are asking and you are wanting to know the answer. You're asking and you're asking and you're asking. Those that are not asking, like you were not asking a year ago, 10 years ago, or whenever, you were not in the vicinity of hearing the answer. You are asking and now you are receiving. When you go out into the world, they will not hear your words. They will not see your point of view. They will not feel what you are feeling. Instead of looking at them with this disappointment or with this feeling of they don't know, I do know, because that is what it will start to feel like, that you would just want them to correct their perception. But then at the end, there will just be conversation and conversation that could look like a discussion and an argument. Because remember, they will deny the undeniable because all they can see is the perception that they're holding to be true. You will notice this. You will notice that everyone out there is believing to be somebody with a perception, and they can only describe and define what they are perceiving. Bring that clarity as seeing that is perfect. Just allow and bring forth that knowing. You can identify from the way you feel the moment you meet them that they are in pain. And the pain is some form of lack. You be love. You be the other side of the coin. Bring that love. And that will help you to practice unconditional love, where now can you love the unlovable? Because it will look through the eyes of the character as that as being unlovable. You are unlovable. You are unkind. Unlovable. You be the love that they haven't identified yet. They haven't included yet. The inclusion, the feeling of lack is the emotion that is being perceived, and now you are including the other side of the coin. And thanks to lack, you have now been able to guide your focus and include that. Have they? Shine that. Because that is where the domino effect will stop. That is what the change, be the change in this world, will start to make that change. Begin to speak from your new perspective, that nothing is wrong, but wrong will invite you to include the right, that the question will invite you to include the answer, that lack will invite you to include abundance. You are the includer. You are the awareness of the two seemingly, but are one in the same. The character is not separate from its creator. Nothing is separate. Nobody is separate. There is nobody. We're all playing this out for each other. The one that forgets and you remember, will show up to see, so you can see yourself in that. So when two, the one that forgets and the one that remembers, what will you be inspired to say? How will love flow through you? In which way or form? But when you go out into the world with the intention of, I now know and I want to help those that need my help, you don't require help. You don't want help, because help implies that you cannot do it on your own, that you are limited in some way. And that's why we've sort of confused that feeling. Remind them of who they are. How? Not through words. Otherwise, words can help, but by holding firm onto that knowing of who you are. See them as you know them to be, instead of focusing on how they are in front of you. Begin to practice this, where one unkind person can be standing in front of you and yelling at you, and all you can focus on is how they really are, if they weren't gripped by the character in that particular moment. And notice what vibration comes out. Notice the new experience. It is hard to imagine from where you're standing now, but this is something that I continuously practice. Allow myself to go outside and to recognize a character completely in character. Can I see him as he really is, with the inclusion of which he is now separating? If I can do it with myself, can I do it with everyone? Because it is the same. We are all characters, but the awareness from where you are seeing them is all one. The same source that flows through you flows through me. It is that which keeps the point of reference of unconditional love, bliss, abundance. The world is all this illusion of characters. Apparently more than 7 billion characters are all playing out. Are we going to see beyond the genders? Are we going to see beyond the races? Are we going to see beyond the ages? Are we going to see beyond all the separation that has been created? These little groups. All these groups, if you take all these groups and include them all, what expansion, what creations can we see? Instead of eliminating, separating. The more you see separation, the more separation there will be. The more unkindness and hatred and lack we keep perceiving and feeling the indication of it, the more there will be. So is it about helping and fixing the broken, or is it all about feeling the inclusion of that vibration so then it can flow through you? It is about that. Who walks this planet with the vibration in them, flowing through them? How many people are we allowing the inclusion of abundance, the inclusion of love to flow through you and walk the planet? It is not about making more and more people do the right thing. It is about more and more people flowing with this frequency through them, flowing with the frequency of love through them, so they can show up as that. It is not in the doing. It is not in the action. The action will come forth from you. So you will not be in front of another in the attempt to help. You will be in front of another as if love flows through to see who you really are through them, with them. You are one. You are the beacon of light that carries on reminding everyone you are not that. And what is really only required is the connection of just connecting with your eyes. That split second of recognition. If words come to you, you will probably express them. But begin with you. Start to include and notice. These 21 days have been full of details and details and details, and I can see that maybe people still get tripped up, but if you just keep watching them one at a time and just taking note of how the mind is creating and how you are identifying the exclusion and how you are including it, at which state of being you are in, when in meditation, when in a different vibrational frequency, in which state of being can I include easily, that I can become familiar, with this new feeling. And as the character, I play out different situations and different scenarios and circumstances and events and playfully play with other people. But those other people are part of the same picture, are part of the same painting. You are all seemingly separate, but intertwining as one. For what? For you to see that realization, to notice that indication, and to include the not enoughness that you became aware of. You are all one. We are all one. Growing up, the number one thing I was taught is don't hurt anyone's feelings. Don't hurt anyone's feelings. But not getting your feelings hurt by not accepting the acknowledgement of why we have these emotions. The moment you feel hurt is because you're holding on to a perception that is not who you are. Without feeling the hurt, you are not ever going to become aware of the inclusion, because that hurt is indicating to you what you are not including. If you feel hurt, ask yourself, what form of not enoughness am I believing to be? If you don't get hurt, the hurt you will not be led to who you really are. So by putting it out there, be sure to grow up and be a nice person and don't hurt anyone's feelings. If you hadn't told me that, who would I be? Would I really go out and hurt people's feelings with the intention of being a bad person? Or would it just be that we're all playing out? Even though I've been told that several times, I still show up and words come out of my mouth and I end up being a mirror for someone that ends up getting hurt. Why? Because I just said the word green, and apparently the word green can hurt someone. Or I can say that it's a lovely day, and someone that's feeling depressed will get frustrated with me. Take that smiley face out of my face and get out of here. People get hurt for all sorts of things. You cannot control that. As the character, they will deny the undeniable, and they can turn anything around to suit that experience, that definition, that image of who they're believing to be. You cannot control circumstances and events to any degree to allow anyone to be happy. They must feel the equivalent, the inclusion of that in order to feel happy. You cannot make anyone happy. You cannot make anyone happy. It is for them to wake up to who they are. And as we all slowly wake up to who we are, but begin with you, you can only do it for yourself. I did go through that period where if I could just be in front of anyone and just get them up to speed, I just kept going, and I frustrated the living crap out of so many people. They're not asking. But there will come a time where the pain is intolerable, that they cannot tolerate it anymore. And at some point, at some time, in whatever walk of life they are in, at some point, at some time, they will give up and ask that question. What am I not seeing? What is it all about? This is just too darn ridiculous. What am I not seeing? What am I not seeing? What you're not seeing is who you really are. And that all emotions are simply indicators, indicating non-stop. It never switches off. Unless you medicate yourself with something in order not to feel them. But they'll still be there, but you just won't feel them because you're medicated with something. But that's not the point. The indication is still there. You're holding a perception that is only allowing you to see the one side of the coin, the one side of the yin, the one side of the yang, and that's it. There's more to it. You haven't seen the whole movie. You haven't realized there's more rooms to this house. There's more territory on this map. This is not all of it. An emotion is an indication. It is not who you are. A negative emotion is not a problem. And a negative emotion is not a problem to fix. It is simply to become aware. And awareness is the whole thing. Become more aware, become more aware, become more aware, become aware, 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 aware. Notice, notice, notice. Be present with your thoughts. See them arise. Notice what belief is being believed. Because all perceptions are true. All of them, and every single perception will land you onto that vibrational frequency, and now from there you will be having your experience. You keep changing and change. That changing of the character, changing of experience will become your standard. If I look back in the last 6-7 years, I've changed. I look at photographs. I did these 21-day series a year ago, remembering how to breathe. I talked differently. I had a different intonation. I had a different feel to me. Then I did the other 21 days, and if you look at those videos, there's a different feel. There's different characters to different degrees of allowing. And I don't know what I'm going to look like and who I'm going to be the day after tomorrow or next year or whatnot, or in the next 21 days. It is not something that you can perceive from here. It is by including a new frequency, and now you will discover that new frequency through experiences by playing them out into this 3D time-space reality. And that's the exciting part. Who am I becoming? What will I perceive? What will I become more aware of? There's nothing to fear, because guidance is always here. Who? Awareness, source is always here. This is who you already are. Always and always present. Already. It's already here. The more time you spend in meditation, the more familiar you become with who you are. And you can distinguish when you are in character and when you're not. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're never getting anything wrong. How can anything be wrong? Because from every perspective, as you play out the definitions and the imagery of this character, it's right. It is all, that is what is designed to do this character. It was designed, this being unkind as the lackful frequency, being unkind is the right character to play out for that part. Okay? Losing is the perfect character to play out that part. So if you are currently playing out a character that keeps losing or is unkind and cannot be kind to him or herself or to others, what is the perception? Are you doing anything wrong? No, you're playing it out perfectly. But herein lies the opportunity. Are you done? What can I realize here? I've been playing out the perception I'm not a worthy human being. People don't treat me with respect. I need to protect myself from this world. This is a perspective. Obviously, it's obvious that now this person feels like it needs to protect. Who are you? What do you want from me? Why are you smiling at me? Are you a scammer? You're going to scam me? Because there is the belief I need to protect myself in this world. That's a perspective. And being unkind is what? Protecting. That unkindness is what the character really believes it needs to be. Because it is protecting itself, because it has the perspective. So, is it doing anything wrong? Absolutely not. That is the frequency he or she is playing out. That is the belief that he or she is believing in. This is who I believe to be. But is that the point? The point is, become aware. What can I include? I am safe. Everything is working out. I know who I am. I am love. I am kind. The inclusion. Was the character something to eliminate? The character is something to include. Thank you, for I would have not become aware of who I really am. And all these parts are guiding you where? To who you really are. If it could not be for all these different parts, you wouldn't know. And all these parts are working like the organs in your body, all of them working together. These different creations are one organism, all working together to wake up the one. And we know who we really are. So we're all waking up to who we really are. We're noticing. So let's say there's 1% of the population that have started to, out of the 7 billion. And as you stand in your knowing and interact into this world and allow other people, now you go and do your 21 days. Now you go and inspire and allow this love, bliss to flow through you. How many others will start? And at some point, the 7 billion will all know who we really are. What's that going to look like? From where we're standing now, we don't know. You can't experience it because you're not up to speed with the frequency. There's so much more to become aware of. The invincibility invincibility is a frequency that not everyone is accustomed to. We still have to familiarize ourselves with it. All possible things. Time is created in this illusion of time-space reality. Space is an illusion created in this time-space reality. What will we be creating? We are not mediocre, but we are playing out mediocre. And that's one side of the coin. What is the other side of mediocre? Infinite possibilities, infinite perspectives, infinite beliefs, and every single belief will play out an experience. What can you include? What can I include? What not enoughness are you perceiving? Include. Allow the mind to play it out. Allow the mind to define and describe. Listen, notice what it is describing. Look at the images. Notice the indicators. Notice this beautiful dance of noticing here and noticing there and noticing here and noticing there. Meditation, imagination, visualization, back here, inclusion, elements, characteristics, flavors, perfumes. Use all the elements that you have discovered that you can play around in this 3D dimension. Play with them all. Because at the end of the day, there's awareness just wanting to focus on something. What do you want to focus on? Do you want to carry on playing out in the character? Or do you want to focus on something completely new? Completely new. You hold firm to a belief that nobody else believes. What do you believe that nobody else believes? And how does that belief make you feel? We are all one. We are all one. You're never doing anything wrong. You can never do anything wrong. You're only playing out who you believe to currently be. Meditate at the times that you are and explore. Bring back everything you've noticed. And now, from there ponder, from there contemplate, what would that feel like? Include. But when you ask someone outside to be different so you can feel better, is not the way. It's like standing in front of the mirror and you doing that and then asking the mirror to smile. No need to do that. No need to do that. Control is literally believing that the illusion can change. But you are the one that is allowing this experience to unfold. So you come back home and you've realized 3 people irritated me. Why? And that's why the work of Byron Katie is really good, because she's got all sorts of little forms. Judge your neighbor, the 4 questions. I don't really follow any kind, but it's just, I've discovered my way of contemplating, and I just write keywords. I was irritated by that conversation. What was off? And so now I have something to focus on. I focus on that feeling that was off, and then just navigate where? Within me, in meditation. I navigate and contemplate. What's the inclusion of that? What was I pushing against? I didn't beat anyone up or ask them to be different. No, they've just highlighted something for me to now become aware of. They've just alerted me of something that I really want to look at. They've just suggested a movie I'd like to watch. They've pointed out something I'm interested in. Why? Because obviously it's my emotional guidance that is pointing it out to me. So when a negative emotion arises, am I beating myself up? No, I've actually got to the point that, what am I to see here? And I'll write it down. Frustration often comes to me. And every single time I find myself frustrated is just the desire to become more and more clear and more simple. It's this burning desire that just says, how can I find more and more ways to just simply point? I'm never ever satisfied with the ability to translate or transpire this veil of illusion. The compulsion to control and fix. The compulsion to control and fix others so you don't feel is the biggest misconception that really hit me and smacked me in the face. It is useless. I've just seen it for years and years and years. Constant desire to impose rules and regulations just sounded so off. You're here to feel. Without feeling, you cannot include a vibration. You cannot include the other side. And hence, you will not be vibrating. You will be empty. You'll be empty, but seemingly on the outside, you will have all this accumulation of things that will symbolize, look at me, I have all of this. This means I'm abundant. It's not true. Look at me, I have all of these friends. I am not lonely. I am loved. It's not true. You can have 10 million friends on your Facebook and feel utterly, utterly unloved because you are not including it vibrationally. The things don't symbolize emotions. Emotions are feelings. Things cannot symbolize no kind of feeling. If that's what you're going for. And that's what superficial is. That's what the lie. You can feel when someone is lying, that they say, I am happy. Look, I have, but it's coming from this, I hope they believe me. But they are not lying. They are trying to camouflage themselves because they don't know. They believe to be the character. And you can see that now. When you know who you really are, you can see a character being played out. Do you point out, oh, you're a liar? No, the liar is playing out the liar. But what does he remind me of? The truth. So do I have to live out the experience to include an emotion? No, others can live out the experience, and if I notice the exclusion that they're excluding, I can include it. We don't all have to go through all the same experiences. I can see you go through an experience and notice how you're feeling and include it. I didn't have to go through that. That's why when you all share this beautiful internet, it's just given us so many opportunities. The more you share and you allow me to feel what you've been feeling, I can include it. I'll include that. Thank you for having that experience and sharing it with me. That's what I do with movies. I see these brilliant actors playing out parts and feeling that lack. I can include it. And the more you include, the more you expand. And the more you expand, the more flows through you. Do I have to go through each and every single experience on this planet? No. You've all done that for me. And there's some dreadful experiences you've all agreed to take upon yourself and allowed, and it's always some sort of not enoughness. To what degree? We are all one, assisting each other. We're all one, assisting the one, waking up to itself. We are not separate. Your experiences, my experiences, their experiences, his and her experiences, creating characters, living out experiences, including the not enoughness, including the not enoughness. This is why to judge another, why? We're assisting each other. Say thank you to the homeless. He's living out an experience for all of us to include what? The feeling of abundance. They've taken it to such a degree. They've taken it to such a degree. So I don't give to the homeless out of they need and I have and they don't have. I give to the homeless out of gratitude. Thank you for having this experience that I can see and now include. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For you are not separate from me. You are not separate from me. It's all characters playing out experiences. And you, the one, is the painter. That is one painting. This is another painting. And what is allowed to come through? See through the eyes of source means don't see them for who you think they are. See them for who you know yourself to be. The thinking is definitions from the mind. You are not the thinking. Thinking thoughts is definitions, descriptions, labels, categorizing, arguing, judging. You are not that. Homeless, a homeless, it's a definition. There are no homeless. Playing out an experience. What is he pointing out? Which part of the one side of the coin? You include the other. Lack. The belief in lack creates suffering. Thank you. For that belief can create suffering. Who are you? You are the inclusion of that not enoughness. Included. Thank you. We started out these 21 days where the belief in lack is something we need to terminate. We'd be better off without it. You will know who you are without it. The belief in lack, the belief, the perspective that allows lack to be experienced is the same that allows you to see the inclusion of who you really are. I am now aware I am abundance. Thank you. I am now aware. I wasn't before. I am now aware. We are now grateful to the belief. Who created the belief? The character. Who created the character? The painter. And that is who you are. You are the creator of your characters. That allowed you to find the perspective and the emotion indicated. And now we're back to square one. I created. Now I'm aware I'm the creator of it. You're the creator of the creation. You're the creator of the character. But how can you know yourself without being able to point? This duality, seemingly illusion, is serving in order to become aware of awareness itself, because you are that. How do you become aware of awareness without the illusion of the character? It's perfect. This universe is spot on. It is the most amazing creation ever. Just keep creating more and more characters. You don't have to stick to one. Like those amazing stories of people that were really, really big and heavy. And now, yeah, I can see myself differently. Now they're fit, muscly. And then you have these people that are really, really down on the dips, and now they're exploring. They look different because they feel different. How do they feel different? They included. They familiarized themselves with another feeling, with another emotion, because the emotion is what defines what vibrational platform you're going to be on and experience from there, closer and closer to home. What could possibly go wrong? There is no wrong platform. But the wrongness is when you bump into someone that lives on another platform, that sees things from a completely different perspective, and you're down here seeing things from the other side of the perspective, and you rendezvous for a minute standing at a Starbucks. And he'll look at you and you'll look at him and he'll say you're wrong and he'll say you're wrong. You know what that is? You just happen to be playing out two different characters and you're blissfully believing in two different perspectives. But what perspective you holding? I'm holding this one. What are you doing? I'm holding this one. What are you living out? I'm living that one. I'll trade. No, get your own. You included. Try out that perspective. Look at the life that guy's playing out. Try it on. Include it instead of arguing for your limitations. Go back home, become aware of who you are. What does I believe in myself mean? That's how people are expressing. Believe in yourself. These beautiful quotes. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. And you're here like, I'm not important. I'm not important. Believe in myself. Believe in myself. When someone says, I believe in them, they're standing in a completely different frequency. How? Because they've included self-love. You're here believing, I'm not good enough. So the not enoughness of self-love. The moment you allow yourself in meditation to allow yourself to include self-love and become familiar with this new feeling, soon enough, it will occur to you, I now believe in myself. What changed? The inclusion of a feeling, the inclusion of being one with who you really are, because who you really are is love itself. That means you've tapped in. The belief in lack will always point out through that negative emotion, the suffering will always point to you, to who you really are, and say, go look there, go look there. And who's the one that looks? Who's the one that notices? Da-da-da. Who knows where to go and look? Not the character. Help implies that something is wrong. It's seeing them as not complete and whole. Practice, practice, practice. Nazara always said that. Practice, practice, practice until it no longer feels like a practice. This is just noticing, 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 notice, notice, notice. Notice how things make you feel. I was wearing a jacket, and as I was putting it on one day, I said, I don't want to wear it anymore. I'd like a new one. And I took it off. I went to buy a new one. The character obviously changed somewhere. It didn't resonate. Everything has a vibrational frequency. Everything has a vibrational signature. And all the same frequencies, they, like magnets, they come together to play out that experience. And all of a sudden, one day, I just don't feel like wearing it anymore. It just doesn't resonate anymore. It doesn't resonate. Is it anybody's fault? No. But it was a new jacket. When you trust the way you feel, no matter what, you can't go wrong anywhere. It's just you keep guiding, and that's why the emotions are your guidance. Emotion is your guidance. Guidance, guidance that you can trust 100%. Because when it's off, there's something you're not including. When it's on, you feel inspired. You just want to focus on something. You know what these feelings feel like. And the more you notice how you feel, the more you trust it. And the more you trust it, the more you notice it. And the more you notice it, the more you trust it. And now at some point, nothing. I mean, fearlessness is just a spontaneous knowing that I'm always being guided. And it's nobody's fault the way I'm feeling. It is my perspective that I'm holding. And now I can let it go because I've included the other side. I've included. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's why they say gratitude and unconditional love are basically at the same vibrational frequency, because the moment you can honestly be grateful, You're recognizing who you are. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So today's the last day. Just to give you an update that the Facebook group has been updated with the 4 units. The 21 days remembering how to breathe, which I feel is fundamental, that you become aware of the breath and oxygen that is required for the well-being of your body. That will increase your natural frequency and will assist you while noticing. Setting the stage for change were spontaneous, very, very small and brief videos to just get yourself prepped up, sort of for the work, to start to notice certain things. Very, very short videos I did. Setting the stage for change. It was just my way of saying, hey, would you like to consider this invitation? Now, these 21 days, the belief in lack, which basically started the whole story from the very beginning and just brought you up to speed. Now, these 321 days, along with the resources in the 4th unit, if you allow yourself, there's more than 50 hours of information, valuable information, where you, as you watch, you allow yourself to introduce the daily routine, the misconceptions, and the realizations, and then you play them out and you come back. I believe with the information that has been provided there, you're most welcome to invite other people to the group. I will accept them. Go through this information and then share your experiences in the group. And if it resonates, please write a recommendation on the Kusala Consulting page so other people can become aware of that there is 4 units sitting in a group that just by interacting with them, a shift in their perception, and even though it might be a slight shift, they can move and begin to become aware of who they really are. So we can all start waking up to this illusion and become deliberate creators. So it is in my intention, all this material is free. You're welcome to invite people into the group that you believe that can resonate. As you can see, I speak a very simple, clear language, nothing particular. I didn't get into quantum physics or anything detailed, but if you would like to go deeper, there are so many teachers out there that will take you deeper. There are documentaries out there that will take you deeper. I have wanted to create a foundation where the structures of understanding the mind and what it is designed to do, noticing the definitions, noticing that you are having images, noticing that there is an indication in emotion, and noticing that meditation, imagination, focusing is all part of the beautiful dance of creation. The simplicity and the clarity is here. You are never doing anything wrong. You are not broken. You have simply been misinformed. Let's put an end to that. Begin your sharings. Introduce, become aware, share, keep sharing. I'd love to hear from you in the group. You can carry on and invite as many people you think may benefit from this information. It has been a privilege and an honor to be here with all of you. I shall be putting all these videos up on YouTube from tomorrow. Have a magnificent creation. Be those creators. Be proud, grateful, and full of love. There is nothing wrong with any of you. See that. Know that. Notice. Love you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you, Laurie, Ree. You've been such an inspiration holding the space for this group. You've always been here. I'd like to dedicate these 21 days to you. Thank you so much for all your questions. You've been loving, 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 loving beings. Thank you for co-creating with me. Bye-bye.